when is the right time? At what age? Will he even understand? Or will it make him more anxious? Because everything does. Or will it bring relief? It was a Friday night in November, and Luke, our oldest son, was having his 16th birthday party. He had all his friends over. They were running around, eating, playing video games, and just sending out all that endless teenage energy. Ryan, our second son, was asking about birthday cake. When is dessert? Nobody else cared because they had just filled their bellies with pizza, but not Ryan. He followed my husband and I into our bedroom, pelting us with questions about the when of it all. Ryan is 13 years old, and this is not normal behavior, well, unless you're 3 or 4, or unless you have Prader-Willi syndrome, a crazy genetic disorder that leaves you with no satiety signals and food obsessed. We told Ryan 7 or 7:30, whatever Luke chose, because it was Luke's birthday. Now, uncertainty is really hard for kids like Ryan. Uncertainty about a meal, a snack, or a God-blessed dessert, it's too much for him. Yet, it was Luke's birthday, and we were not going to let Ryan control it, not this time. Ryan wanted to run out of our room into the family room and start badgering Luke in front of his friends. He was already worked up, talking in a shrieking, whining voice. We wanted to protect Luke from embarrassment among his peers, and so we told Ryan he could not leave, and we blocked him from leaving our room. Anytime you do that, aggression is a risk. Sure enough, he started hitting Chris, and we had to restrain him. Ryan was still getting louder and louder, and then he's asking for Luke to do the restraining. Whoever's not doing the restraining is the good guy, and Ryan will ask for him. Because Luke's friends were nearby, we still tried to de-escalate the situation, when what we really needed to do was be silent and calm and just wait it out. Poor Luke walked in with a concerned look on his face and said, "What is going on in here?" We told him, apologized, and encouraged him to just go back to his crew. He sighed and left. Ryan was not quite calm, but I thought, I'm going to try getting him out of feeling mode and into thinking mode. It was my turn to pelt him, lovingly, with questions. I said, "Ryan, do you want to know why you're so upset? Do you want to know why you're having a hard time waiting for dessert? Do you want to know why you talk about food all the time? Do you want to understand what's causing all this right now? Do you want to know why we've told you for years that your brain and your body are different?" "Okay," he whispered. It worked. It seemed to short-circuit his tantrum. I said to him, "Ryan, you were diagnosed as a baby with something called Prader-Willi syndrome. You were just 5 weeks old and out of the hospital when Dr. Flores called us one night to tell us the news. Prader-Willi syndrome is a rare disease. Not many kids or adults have it." He was looking so sad and exhausted, and all I wanted to do was just wrap him in my arms and take all the sadness away. He looks at me through snot and tears and says, "Mom, why do babies get diseases?" Crash went my heart, went all of our hearts. We don't know, Ryan. Some babies are born with different illnesses, and we don't know why. But we know that we will love you. We know that we'll always take care of you, always. My husband Chris chimed in, "This is why you talk about food all the time, and you need constant reminders that we've fed you or that we will feed you. We will always follow the food schedule. We will always take care of your needs. This is why we have locks on the refrigerator and cabinet now, Ryan. Otherwise, you might eat too much or get sick and have an emergency." Ryan, do you think you talk about food more than anyone in our family? No. Ryan really has no insight or self-awareness. He thinks Luke and Kate talk, freak out, and ask about food just as much as he does. Or he just answered that way because he wants to pretend that this is not real. Sometimes I want to pretend that this is not real. At this point, we had long stopped restraining Ryan, and we cozied up together against our big bed, made a Ryan sandwich, and held his floppy little hands. I asked Ryan if he needed a hug, and he looked at me with his watery blue eyes and said, "Yes, please." Since that night, Ryan has not mentioned Prader-Willi syndrome, not once. We've brought it up to him when he's been anxious or asking for food. It may be sinking in. Light bulbs may be going off in his sweet little head. It may provide relief to know why we've said for years that his brain and body are different. Maybe it frames things for him. Maybe. I know it won't change his behavior or his food seeking. I know he won't suddenly be able to self-regulate or become unanxious. And yet, still, he grew up a bit that night of November 11th, 2016. We all did.
And you're so